Hello, hi, and welcome again to the Terminal Podcast, where in the end, it's all about the numbers. I am your host. We are broadcasting high above the Civic Center station in downtown Atlanta. And tonight, as a prelude to Big Game LX, we're going to go gate to gate with questions, non-big game questions that need answers to fill the time before kickoff of the big game. So we'll start with a simple one. I can see everyone's names, but listeners can't. So trying to see. We'll go around the horn from left to right. Uh, Fuzz, where are you calling from? And a short answer, your pick and where you're going to be watching the big game at.
Um, I'm coming to you from our beautiful nation's capital of Washington, D.C. I'm actually usually I'm not too excited about the Super Bowl, but I was invited by my Puerto Rican friend to a Benito Bowl party.
Okay.
So I will be at a Benito Bowl party, hopefully watching the Seahawks win because I can't stand anything New England.
All right. Matt.
Yes, sir. I am from on the pod from my beautiful home in Lawrenceville, Georgia. Um, Unfortunately, I had plans to kind of get the fellas together for a little Super Bowl festival because we couldn't do our annual NFC AFC Championship Sunday get together, but I will be in the beautiful confines of Dothan, Alabama, with my father-in-law watching the game. And I won't even be able to finish the game because we're probably going to be gone. So we'll probably be traveling back home in the car. So um, I too hate all things New England, even though I'm from New England. I will be rooting for Seahawks.
All right. Dan.
Everybody, I'm Dan. I am calling in from lovely Fair Lawn, New Jersey. And if the Seattle wins by more than 4.5 and the score is under 46.5, I win some money. So that's what I'm rooting for, those two things to happen together. I'll be watching from my own house.
That's a good thing to root for.
The good thing to root for. Ed.
My name's Ed Molina. I'm calling from Brooklyn. My borough is Thorough. And I will be watching it with my wife. I've decided I'm going to be making empanadas, actually using the air fryer for the first time to try to make empanadas. So that should be instead of oily and greasy. Who do I think's gonna? What do I expect for the Super Bowl? I expect Elvis Crespo to be one of Bad Bunny's guests, so that we can hear Suavemente. All right,
I asked for a pick.
that's my
Where you
pick.
watching the game at?
Suavemente
And a
is my pick. No, okay, all
All
right.
right,
I'm
so
picking. I'm picking.
Suavemente
No,
can
no.
be your pick. That's
Okay,
That's a
I'm
great
picking.
song, by the way. Great
That's a
song.
good song.
I'm
That's a
picking.
great
Real
pick.
entertainment Sunday.
Okay, all right. I'm picking the Seahawks because I want to see Jetmans crying, even though it's not their fault. And Sam Darnold was never going to make it here anyway. It's just he didn't have the resources. But I'm pulling for Sam Darnold and the Seahawks.
All right, and Rashawn.
I'm calling from College Park, Georgia, just south of Atlanta. Um, I am going with the Seahawks by 7.
7.
Yep.
Mhm.
All right.
So where are you going to be watching the game from?
Oh yeah, I'll be at the house since somebody canceled their
Look, bro,
party.
I didn't mean to
Oh,
cancel it.
yeah, yeah.
Oh, we got beef.
I didn't mean to do it.
Oh,
All right.
Mother
See now,
Nature did it, bro.
for some
some
of us,
picante beef.
for some
Go
of
ahead,
us,
air it
that
out.
would have been an ideal location to watch the big game, but uh, that's not where we're going to be watching it from. So I'm going that would have been a great pick. I'm turning this around to look at the bottom of the bag for question one. So out of the following selections, which would be your preferred location to watch? So selection one is you're in person, you're at the game, but you're in the absolute upper deck with no chance to sneak down. So you're at the top for the entire game, the entire time. You're just up there. That's one. Two, the national broadcast, but with the C team announcers. So like you've got like the either it's in New England, so it's New England, but it's not even the New England, it's not even the EEI performance. It's like the main team doing it for that broadcast. It's out there. Uh the third one is a sports star. So if you're rooting for Seattle, it's a whole bunch of Patriots fans and vice versa. Or it would be on, I guess, Peacock's got it this year, right? They've got a group screen like we've got on there with 5 screens. So it's like that, but it's never the same audio, and the actual game is just in the corner off to the side at actual times. It's like the fan shot and the stadiums and the mascots and everything like that, except the game. So out of those four really bad ways to watch a game, which is your preferred? Rashawn, after that long introduction, what would you take?
I'm gonna go. We're talking about the Super Bowl, watching the Super Bowl,
Mm-hmm.
right?
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna go with the national broadcast, and I'll just turn the volume down with the C teamers.
Yes. Matt?
Yeah, all those choices suck, bro. But
Yeah.
Especially
if I
number
had to
four.
choose, I would choose. I'm with Rashawn. I take the national broadcast. I thought you were going to say subject me to Scott Zolak or somebody like that.
I
On the
mean,
new
well,
one.
that's kind of what I'm saying. It's like
Yeah.
you're getting the national
Yeah.
broadcast, but it's the absolute worst announcers you can think of.
See,
That's my point.
I mean, I'd have to.
And I don't go ahead.
No, no, no. I mean, I'd probably a long time ago. I'd love to be anywhere in the vicinity of the game, but the older I get, the more I'm like, I don't even want to deal with the hassle. I don't like the teams in it. My team is never in it, so I'm good with watching like the C team, the national broadcast.
Buzz?
All right, initially I thought we were just talking about like a football game, but if it's
No.
the Super Bowl, I'd definitely be fine in the top row. I mean, I'm happy just to be at the Super Bowl.
All right.
I mean, I'd prefer like a game I cared more about, but it's the Super Bowl. I'd love to go to the Super Bowl, even if I'm at the top. Listen, I've sat at the top for like watching the Redskins lose by like 50. You think I'm not going to sit there for the Super Bowl?
Right. Dan?
I've actually not a Super Bowl, but I did the AFC Championship game once. It was the Jets Colts one like 15 years ago, and I was with only people from Indianapolis watching it. It wasn't that bad, but I mean, Indiana people are nice, maybe, so maybe that made it
That's
not so
probably
bad.
what it
But
was.
like,
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
stand
but it
that
was,
they are.
but I could probably do that again. It really depends on like if it was like a Jets Patriots type of game like that. Like I don't think I can handle Patriots fans.
Oh, it would be, like I said, so this would be Patriots Seahawks fans, but you'd be dealing with the Patriots fans.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah. Mhm. Hey,
I
it's a
could I
choice.
again if I
It's
was
a choice.
invested in the outcome, I could live with the like I'd probably go to the national broadcast with the C team. But if it was just this Super Bowl, I could sit this. I like the sports bar atmosphere for football games, like they're like the fan reactions and things like that, and being able to like buy shots for people and all that fun stuff. Like I do like that, so I probably could suck it up and like deal with fans of a team I don't care for.
All right. Ed?
I think just to get it off the bucket list, I would say in the nosebleeds. It wouldn't bother me. I've done nosebleeds for lesser stuff. To knock something out of my bucket list, although I would be picky, I would be bougie about venues. Certain venues are better than others. I hear Santa Clara is a bit of a mess to get to and whatnot. So, but even that's never stopped me from going to like a WrestleMania. So like it wouldn't stop me from knocking this off a bucket list. So I'm going with the cheap seats.
Mhm. Well, between all of us on this call, we've watched a lot of football and are all physical. I was going to say I've played football in some sort with at least two, three people on this call at some kind, just at least throwing around football a little bit. Um, just things are changing because things like I'm surprised to learn that Roger Craig, like we all saw Roger Craig play 4 Pro Bowls. He's got 3 Super Bowl rings. The first NFL player with 1,000 yards rushing and receiving in the same year that Roger Craig is not in the Hall of Fame. The running back position that we all grew up with dying before, well, it died like a decade ago plus, but when when you reminisce with your grandchildren or your senior home attendants, who will you say was your favorite running back? Dan?
Oh, like all time favorite running back to watch ever? Or are we going off of the like just
I'm
people?
going off of that scenario. It's your grandchild is next to you asking, or the senior home attendant who's helping you out right now.
This
He
changes my
says,
answer.
my favorite running back was
Barry Sanders, easy. Like there was no one else to watch like him. So if I was going to be slipping into senility and remembering football, I would be watching Barry Sanders do things I haven't seen before or since.
Buzz.
I mean, I'm gonna echo what he said. Like, this is not even a thought. Like, Barry Sanders is the running back. I mean, it's Barry Sanders. Come on.
Sean.
Yeah, can't take anything away from Barry Sanders, even though I'm an Emmitt Smith fan. Um, but just love watching run. Eric Dickerson.
Ooh, good one.
That is a good one. Damn. That's a real
He's
good one.
very he's very underrated by today's like generations. I feel like millennials and Zers, I was about to say Xers. Zers
We're all getting old
kind of dismiss him and disrespect him. Just
because they didn't see him. If you didn't,
yeah,
see- if they didn't, and we
Yeah.
certainly, if you didn't get a taste of him in college before he then was running past people, and it's a two ways. Matt, when you think running back, who do you think? Who will you
That
say?
Eric Dickerson is a great answer. I've never seen, and I don't even think they don't make him like 6'3", like 225 pounds with the
No.
shake, with the agility. You know what I mean? He ran like he was like 5'8".
Yeah, and top end speed.
And then
Right.
ran past you. That was
I was all set to say Barry Sanders because as a Cowboy fan, I'm conditioned to say Emmett was my guy, and Emmett still is my guy. But Barry Sanders, I've never seen a running back start 10 yards behind the line of scrimmage, and everybody can see him 10 yards behind the line of scrimmage. They don't know where he's going, and he gets out of
past
that
you.
right for a
Man.
25-yard gain.
Yeah.
Nobody could do that like Barry could do it.
Oh, he shook three people before he got to the hole.
With no line. With no line.
With no line.
With no line.
Just to not really change the subject, but if you go back to like a period of time when these guys were in college, like Barry was at Oklahoma State
Mm-hmm.
and Marshall Falk is another good one. Marshall Falk was at San Diego State, and then Reggie, like those three, like did things I've never seen a running back do, and they did it a little bit differently, but just changing the game up. And you've got like dudes now who are Martin. You talked about Roger Craig, Christian McCaffrey is like versatile weapons. You got a bunch of dudes like that, but those three, just like to me, just like changed the way running backs were used because of what they could do.
Well,
College Marshall Falk was different for sure.
Marshall Falk that's a good pull, yeah.
he's the foundational player of today's running back of being able to catch the ball out of the backfield, your screen passes, like you can even put him in a little out pattern, yeah, he's like the prototype of today's football.
and you say that, and I'm thankful because you saw these names, but I feel as if some of the running backs that I'm going to mention off of this list, which is the best. Good. No, I was gonna say because this is question number two. I'm going to you first, Ed, because you
Sure.
didn't get to say your favorite.
Sure.
So I'm gonna make you say your favorite from question two, the best of this list of almost forgotten running backs. Because every name I'm gonna say is memorable, but they're just not talked about. Ricky Waters is completely forgotten.
Ooh,
And
yeah.
that's the running back out of I'm going to go in the slot. I can line up in the slot as a stand up, as a slot receiver and all that stuff. Christian Okoye,
Yeah.
is completely forgotten. I mean, that style of running back does well, I take that back. That's what's his name? Oh, that's right. Derrick Henry is a more standing up and taller version of Christian Okoye. Warwick Dunn I think Warwick Dunn did Roger Craig, except he was smaller. But
170
they're kind of
pounds.
they're very similar, very similar. And Thermal Thomas is for Thurman Thomas. I call him Thermal because we got to beat him in the Super Bowl, but he did it all
Yeah.
and is not spoken about at all. So from that list, Ricky Waters, Christian Okoye, Warwick Dunn, and Thurman Thomas, who is your best almost forgotten running back? Rashawn?
So
No.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
I'm starting with that. I apologize. I forgot. Thank you.
no, so out of that list, I go my favorite NFL film clip of all time was when Christian Okoye ran over Steve Atwater at the line of scrimmage.
Mm.
You can hear, and this was before the fields were mic'd like today's mod. Today it's like everything is mic'd, right? You can hear it was like Galactus just crashing into a planet, and you just see Atwater just crumble. I love the Nigerian Nightmare so much. One of my favorite players. But this was actually going to be my 1A also for favorite running back. Another guy
Mm.
that's so forgotten, didn't even make this cutting list. And part of that is because his career was very fleeting, like a comet in the night. Bo fucking Jackson, people. Bo fucking Jackson.
I didn't put
Tecmo.
Bo on the list for a reason, but because Bo is not forgotten though, because of Tecmo Bowl, because of people who would just be like, "Hey, do you remember when Bo Jackson ran up against the wall in the outfield and then caught the ball?" We remember Bo Jackson. We
I
don't really
don't
talk
I don't
about
know.
we don't talk about Ricky Waters.
I
You
don't
know, and
know.
no one's ever said, "Remember that
I
time
don't
Ricky Waters caught 10 passes and Philadelphia won?" No one says that.
I don't know if these punk ass pundits and these CTE up athletes doing doing ESPN's first take. I don't know if these folks they never bring them up. Like I
But
don't think
that's my point.
today's kids do not bring up Bo Jackson as much as they should. He's one of the greatest
Oh,
athletes of all time. And sports and culture is driven by youth. I think he is forgotten. Maybe not by us, but our time is almost gone, fellas. We got one foot in the
yeah,
grave. That's just the
yeah.
reality. You know, I don't think he's celebrated enough. Like, say, a Michael Jordan, right? These punk ass kids never saw Jordan play and they're hanging from his nutsack. Like, I think Bo Jackson merits that more. I'm just saying. It's just he is forgotten. I think he is, and even though he was such a part of the Zygus, to use a big word in front of the SARS, like Bo don't know diddly. That commercial was great. We talk about Tecmo Bowl. We talk about him running over Brian Bosworth. And even despite all that, I don't feel that
His
today's
shoe.
culture celebrates the beautifulness of Bo Jackson. That said, the Nigerian Nightmare is my guy from that list. That dude was a monster. It was like watching Galactus play running back. I loved his running style. Yeah.
Buzz.
All right, since we're throwing out people we would put on the list, I got Sean Alexander. If I were making the
Oh,
list, I'd have
that's
thrown
a
him
good
on there.
call.
Oh,
It's a good
that's a
call.
good call.
Yeah.
No, for real. People really forgot about Sean
Yeah.
Alexander. They really forgot
Yep.
about Sean Alexander. Give me the four again.
Ricky Waters, Christian Okoye, Warwick Dunn, Thermal Thomas.
All right, this is what I'm doing. I'm gonna say, man, I used to love Christian Okoye, the Nigerian Nightmare. It's weird. I used to love the Chiefs. Now I can't stand them.
Yeah.
They had a safety named Barry Word out of my favorite college football team, University of Virginia. I'm gonna pause so y'all can judge. Go ahead.
Barry Word was that dude, man.
No,
Yeah.
no, no. I'm talking about being a University of Virginia
Oh,
fan.
oh
Go
yeah.
ahead.
Well,
Yeah.
yeah.
No, it's
I
whatever.
mean,
Now go ahead.
Go where you go.
Yeah, you just we don't judge
Okay,
here. We
so
judge free zone.
You've been judged. Go
that's
ahead.
free zone.
We do, but
listen, it's very judgeable. It's very judgeable. Otherwise, I wouldn't have paused.
No, that's all right. You're
Anyway,
a who. That's fine.
wahoo! Anyway, I'm gonna go with Thurman Thomas. I feel like 3 Super Bowl losses in a row. People, they want the grandeur. They want the Super Bowl wins. They want the rings.
It was
And I
4.
feel
Okay.
like Thurman Thomas was just as good, if not better, than anybody on that list. You want to talk about a solid guy with speed that could run over you, and went to 3 straight Super Bowls. But people, if you don't win, people act like it's nothing. But
He also started in front of Barry Sanders at Oklahoma State.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's when
Sure
Oklahoma
enough
State, you
did.
had to get that money in right into your pocket to be able to get that top recruit. When that wasn't when we could talk about it now, right? Because it's legal, right? We could do
Nails
that now
Oh
illegal.
yeah,
because
yeah.
Now
because
it's no longer
now it's
brown paper
memories
bag
of
money.
remember when SMU used remember they had Pony Express and everything. All right, I could go on. We could talk about running backs like that, but
That's a
Rashawn,
whole nother pod.
That is.
Right.
Rashawn, out of those four, Ricky Waters, Christian Okoye, Warwick Dunn, Thurman Thomas, who you got?
Yeah. So the people that were here early, um,
Oh,
Those
okay.
can't see the
so
Seminoles.
yeah.
So you got food
I'm
guy.
sorry, yeah, for the listeners of Florida State. I'm a Florida State fan. So I'm gonna go Warwick Dunn, who is 24th on the all-time rushing list, one spot ahead of Ricky Waters. Um,
Okay.
yeah, great dude. National championship at Florida State, 3-time All ACC, first team All American.
My dude bought his stats.
Yeah, 3-time Pro Bowler. Walter Payton Man of the Year, NFL Rookie of the Year. Almost 5,000 yards receiving, 10,000 yards, almost 11,000 yards rushing, 49 touchdowns, which were stolen. Some of his touchdowns were stolen by All-Star, and then
They did steal. All
And
Star
then
did get a
the
lot
White
of
and
House.
one
then
yard smashes
who
into
was
the end
the
zone.
Thunder with
it
the
was from
TJ Duckett?
TJ
TJ
Duckett from
Duckett.
Run DMC, yeah, Run
Yeah.
Mhm.
Run VMC, whatever. But yeah,
Yes.
so
All
yeah,
right.
Warwick Dunn's my dude.
Dan, who you got?
Nigerian Nightmare is the best nickname maybe ever. And it's too bad they don't do real nicknames anymore. It's always just like someone's initials or something.
Or they make it up on their own. Sorry,
Yeah,
I
but
can't.
yeah, that
Sauce.
I can't give. I can't give him. I can't forgive. Continue. Go ahead, Dan.
the name that will it could be on this list now, but definitely will be soon enough is Curtis Martin.
Ooh, good
Mm,
Great
one.
one.
Yep, yep.
okay,
Mr. Tony Braxton.
that's true. Oh,
Jets fans won't forget Curtis Martin, but like kids, eventually, because he was just quiet too. Like he was never like flamboyant in any way, shape, or form. He just did the job every year, every time. Never like I can't think of a time like, oh, they lost the game because Curtis Martin screwed up. You know what I mean? Like there was never. So
all
that's
right.
Good.
that would be the guy on not on the list. But best on that list, by the way, is Thurman Thomas is probably the best on that list. Like he does get forgotten because of the Super Bowl losses, but he was a monster on those teams. And they made a lot of Super Bowls.
Yeah.
That doesn't that as teams that never make the Super Bowl. That doesn't. It's not like it's not easy to do it. So
Matt.
Um, I also want to say, and this is because I was listening to like a sports talk station the other day, and Terrell Davis was on.
Mm.
Mhm.
Terrell Davis is going to be in that category too, like Curtis Martin in a few years, where people won't really consider him. But it's funny because Elway wouldn't win without TD, right? And I can't stand the Broncos, but I recognize that TD was great. He's not on the list, so my choice from the list is Thurman Thomas. Thurman Thomas was so good that the Buffalo realized, if something happens to Thurman, we got to get somebody who's can mimic his skills. And they drafted Kenneth Davis. I think that was his name, who was his backup. And he basically was like a mini version of Thurman Thomas, not as good, but kind of, he could kind of sub in and still not really miss a beat. But Thurman Thomas, man, I talking about like the 3 Super Bowl losses, the one thing that everybody remembers from one of those Super Bowls is the missing helmet. He couldn't find his helmet.
Mhm.
And I think you guys are right. He is defined by that image in that. So I guess that was against the Redskins. I think that was a Super Bowl. But dude, we're talking about running backs who could do everything. Dude could do everything, man. And it was ridiculous. So I definitely say Thurman Thomas. And I'm a
Okay.
Buffalo hater, but I recognize the
There's a
greatness.
lot of haters on your
I
team
was about to
that you
say, who do
hate
you
on
like?
that.
Oh, dude, I really hate Ricky Waters. I didn't even want to mention his name.
Oh God, I hated
Can't
him so
stand that
much.
dude.
I respected his game, but I hated him so
Yeah,
Oh
that
my
was
God.
all of this obviously is because these are names from our youth, and at some point as children, uh, I know I was the Nigerian nightmare, and either going over the couch with the ball, the fictional ball, to get the first down or the touchdown, or cushions or some kind, whatever it was, however you did it. I also was a toe tapping wide receiver, make sure I get 2 feet in, everything like that, with a Nerf ball. And all those things, which leads to question three. Regardless if it was a Nerf ball or a big size ball, what was your favorite pickup football? Two-hand touch on the street with sidewalks out of bounds. Now that's a suburban type thing. I was gonna say even the streets kind of thing, because if you're growing up it depends where you grow up at, or just open field tackle with because then it becomes where are the sidelines. Well, that's that's this. Well, that's the touchdown down there, whatever like that. So between those two choices, which would you prefer? Uh, Matt, I'll go back to you.
I'm doing open field, and it just brings back a lot of really good memories. Summertime, great. Wintertime, where fields covered with snow, great. Nobody knew where the hell we were going, but it was just be out there with your friends. It was just a lot of fun, man. And I've done both.
Hmm.
Anytime I could play football, I was happy, no matter what it was, whether it was on the street or not. But I always remember the fact that you had to take the breaks from the cars coming on the road. But so being on the open field, you just had that ability to, okay, we're not worried about nothing but scoring. So I love open field.
I'll go to Dan next because we grew up in the same town. So you're familiar with the street that I'm thinking of, where it's just I can just go this it's a 3-car street, right? You can have your car on the street, you have a car on the street, and you can have at least one car going through the middle, if not two. But it was that kind of a street, but it'd be like where I was, it was going off to a dead end. So you could play on the street, and cars did come through every now and again, but not as much as if you were on a more busy street. So that's when I think of when I think of street football and using the curb as the sidelines and things like that. I'm realizing that I was so young that was a big side of the field, because now it's like that's not that big, but when I was 9 or 10, it was. So it was a different game. So Dan, which did you prefer?
Yeah, I mean, you said it. I have the best memories of those street two and touch games.
Mm,
And I mean, part of it probably for me was because I was also like really skinny. So tackle football, like I mean, we had fun with those sometimes, but like I was kind of, I wasn't a big guy, so that wasn't going to be like my where I would shine. So like, but I could catch the ball. So like, two hand touch in the street, that was my preference.
mm. Ed, what was your preferred playground
My
football?
So I lived a couple of blocks from Midwood High School's football field. So a lot of times we would either go to the football field, which had
Okay.
artificial turf,
Oh.
and the turf was like 15 years old. So really, we were playing on a thin, thin rug.
much.
That's so that's why my knees are jacked up because the fields that I played on were on artificial turf. Or we would go to J Park off of Flatbush Avenue and Avenue J, play pickup games there. In that part, that was grass. I much prefer grass as in hindsight, probably the better move. But I've always loved open field. I will say the one thing I love about playing street football though, even though it was two-hand touch, it never was two-hand touch. It always degenerated. And my favorite thing on the planet was hip checking somebody from the blind side right into a car. I'm not gonna lie to you, like defense was my thing. I just jacked up. I just wanted to see someone just I'd smash them like the way a hockey player smashes someone against the board.
Yeah,
I would,
yeah.
and yo, even if they didn't have the ball, it was like a blindside block. Yo, somebody's going through a windshield if I can do it. Like,
Yeah.
so yeah. Sorry. I
That's
was
rough.
I was a mean kid. Sorry.
Say, Rashawn, did
It's
you
that
have
it's
an
that
evil
it's that
twin?
short man complex. You know what it
Did
is. Like, oh,
Rashawn, did you have an evil
I'm
streak
gonna
like
grab this
that? Try
big
to put
bastard
people on the
sleeping
wall?
right now.
Nah, nothing like that.
We never saw you coming.
Right. So in my neighborhood growing up, there were 35 kids that were 2 years younger or 2 years older than me. So we always had full teams, everything we wanted to play. Um, and so open field is the answer to the question. But
Yeah.
yeah, that would
Yeah.
yeah, it was just an open field, like literally. And yeah, you had to run like 200 yards to score a touchdown. So
Being statement. After
right.
50 yards, someone's not making it.
Yeah, well,
Yeah.
it talked about being short. I too am short, but I am fast. So if I ever got around the imaginary corner, that was it for me. But yeah, open field.
What about you?
Ooh.
You there?
You
Ooh.
You.
Buzz. Yeah, who?
No,
Me?
that would be
Who?
you.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Yeah.
who?
Oh,
Yes.
say my
Okay,
name or
New Day.
something. You just like, what about you?
Okay, New Day
I,
rocks. Let's
I'm
go, New
sorry.
Day
I
rocks.
said Fuzz. I thought I said Fuzz.
I'm gonna say we had like I lived like maybe like a little over a quarter mile from a park, but it still wasn't all that accessible. Like, there were several neighborhoods around the park. It might be crowded. There might be an event. It was cool on the grass and everything, but we had this big cul-de-sac that ran right next to the rec. So we used to have the MFL. We didn't have whole teams. We had 2-on-2 football with a high schooler and a young kid in the neighborhood. And we had
Okay.
schedules, we had playoffs, and we had all that. I
All right.
hesitate to say two-hand touch because it was two-hand push. You were throwing people to the ground, even if it was the cul-de-sac, broken
Yeah.
bottles and everything. You're gonna really, really push them. It's not nothing light,
Yeah.
but
No, I
that
completely
that was
understand.
our thing. Like, and I played on both ends. I was the little kid, and then I was the high schooler. And the high schooler is the quarterback, and the other one is the only one that can rush the quarterback. You count to five, then you can go after him.
Yeah.
Okay. There's
So we
always
had
a
a
way.
whole and like my neighborhood I'm from a big neighborhood. So it was like lots of teams. It wasn't just like, oh, we're gonna have four teams. No, we had a lot of kids, a lot of high schoolers. And we used to play in the cul-de-sac right next to the rec. And that was the most fun football in my childhood.
I'll This is my old man box for a moment. It's like I don't know if kids are able to get outside like that. Like you mentioned, Rashawn, you both just mentioned there was a lot of kids that are in the same age range that were close enough that we were able to walk and gather together on your own and play on empty fields and play on street corners just to play. Like you didn't know. There's so many games I played where I didn't know half people on the other team. You ready? Let's go. All right. So that's
You
the
just
guy
like,
we
right.
go
You
play
just
with you
like, you want to
now.
play?
Yeah.
Yeah,
That's all you
that's
do.
up. It just Back off the box. The game's over. We're back inside. You're sweaty. You're dirty. You're not cleaning up. You're going to grass on the couch,
Nah, I'm cleaning
and
up. Mama Molina's
Nah,
whipping my ass.
nah,
Mama
take
Molina's
your
whipping
play
my ass.
clothes
I'm
off.
not
And,
getting on that couch
yeah.
muddy and shit. No. Even on turf. Even on turf. Mama Molina's nah, you going to the shower. Fuck that. Like,
Yeah.
so when you got clean, question number four: what was your favorite football related film? Just any film that movie that you throw on that had football in it in some way somehow. Dan?
Damn. I'm not talking about as a kid, but ever, right?
No,
Because
well,
you think
we can
about
go
back
ever.
then.
We can go ever. I mean, I'm thinking about it that way because that would be what afterwards you crash down and you're turning on the television, and if there was a football thing on, you're going to sit and watch it. So that was sort of the thought process. But we can just go with your favorite football related film. Anything, North Dallas 40, the Varsity Blues,
Yeah,
the
because I
My
was going to go
Favorite, the
with
program.
Any Given Sunday is my favorite one to watch. Like, I mean, it's outrageous and exaggerated in a lot of places, but it's also awesome. Like all the just different performances and that's the most fun. Yeah, I mean that one obviously was not when we were kids, but I can't think of a good one like that I like watched regularly when we were younger, to be honest. So I think that's that was the first football movie that comes to mind.
Buzz.
Oh, there's that one.
Listen, I'm a DC guy. Wildcats.
Dude, I was just thinking that.
Goldie
Okay.
Hawn from
Yeah.
Just
Washington,
thinking it.
D.C. The
Alright.
movie takes place in Washington, D.C. I'm old as hell. It was out when I was a kid.
All
He's
right.
throwing up the double.
Wildcats. If you ain't seen it, go find out.
Rashawn.
One that I would watch. I did Any Given Sunday is a good one, but The Program.
Yeah. That's mine. Sorry.
Yeah.
Starting defense. Smashing his head through windows. I just saw a video on YouTube about it. And they
Sorry.
were like, the best part that you forget about is those guys. He smashed his head through the window, and the two coaches are just sitting there watching him. They don't move at all. They don't do nothing. They don't question. They don't even talk like, "Hey,
No.
that guy's car's gonna get messed up. We should." Nope. They just sit there,
Nope.
look at him, say,
Nope.
"All right."
Yep.
They asked one
Yep.
question. When do we drug test?
Exactly.
Yeah. The Are you hurt or are you injured?
Yeah, I've used that line to this day. I've used that line to this day when I stub my toe.
Yeah.
Ed, what's your movie?
I love the program's up there, my 1A. Actually my 1B, but my 1A, and it's for sentimental reasons. I had no business playing high school football whatsoever, but I did. I'm
Rudy.
5'5". Yeah, no. Oh God, you ever say that? Oh my God. Yo, you never want to come to New York again, do you? And
I really don't, though. That's the thing.
I absolutely detest the movie Rudy. I absolutely detest it for obvious reasons because I was the shortest guy on the team. But my favorite movie is Friday Night Lights. The movie, not to the TV show. I've never seen the TV show. The movie, it really
we
captured.
we will win state. We will win state. Can you be perfect?
Yes.
It was just like, yeah, I remember that line. I was just like, yeah, that was, yeah.
The best
Billy Bob
football
Thornton.
doesn't happen in the state.
For those who can't hear the
really
W side, continue. Go ahead.
I feel like that movie really captured like high school ball, especially at that level. I've had friends that lived in Texas from Permian, from Midland. They lived that era of football, and they tell me that the movie captures the spirit and the vibe. The book do too. I highly recommend it. It's my favorite sports book. And the book actually goes more into like the racial dynamics of Midland and Permian and all of that. And you see it in shades in the movie. But when they're in the locker room, like defeated, like I've felt that. Like I've been there. I've been that kid sobbing like after a loss. I'll take that out. But it really captured high school ball where you think it's the world and realizing, not at the time you're not realizing you have so much more life ahead of you. But at that given moment, that is your everything is that team, those guys, that vibe, everything. And so I really enjoyed Friday Night Lights.
Cover high school football games on Friday nights, have for the last decade plus. So I see what you're talking about on an annual basis, and it's a very interesting time. Matt, that's got nothing to do with your pick unless you're taking Friday Night Lights.
I am not. I'm throwing a curveball. It's a movie I'm not sure you guys have seen. It was called The Best of Times.
Oh, okay.
With
I remember
Kurt Russell and Robin Williams.
Wait, tell me who's the stars.
Kurt Russell and Robin Williams.
For sure. Yeah.
So it was basically they're reliving their high school glory by replaying a game, and they're older,
Like Ed. Ed.
Yep. And it's so unrealistic because you've got Robin Williams beating dudes running 9 routes. So
Yeah.
think about that. But
Yeah,
it was
running
funny. There's a lot of good
laps.
nostalgia in it. And I don't know. When I was a kid, I loved like sports movies like Fish to Save Pittsburgh, things like that. And
Good call.
so like that's why, like you said, Wildcats. I was like, oh yeah, that was my movie too. But movies like that, like The Best of Times, is just like brings up a lot of good memories, and that's like that stays with me. So,
real quick? What was the
Uh-huh.
Tom Cruise movie that was filmed in Johnstown, Pennsylvania?
Um,
Because that's a
On
big football movie from around that era too.
yes. I know exactly what you're talking
I
about.
can
I've seen it and I'm
see
trying to remember
him.
what the name of it is.
He got there was like a blue and gold almost sort of
Yep, it's
motif
because
on
Craig
the.
T. Nelson's in it. He's a coach.
Yeah.
That was a great show, by the way, though, Coach. If we're talking football.
It was a
I
Sorry.
great show.
That
I
was good.
couldn't
Yeah.
stand that show. I
Oh,
Minnesota
never
State,
I
I
baby.
never found it funny. I never found
Dauber
it
was
funny.
Yeah, I was
hilarious
never a
in
I
it.
coach
never
fan.
found that
But
show
I'm
funny.
riding with Martin.
Never found that show. I never
Um,
understood. And all
It's
Funny,
like
again,
remember
it's
the
like
Titans
liking
didn't
Night
come up.
Court.
I
I
love
never
Night Court too.
Yeah, I bet.
Night
I
Court.
bet.
Yeah.
Night Court was great.
that card was great.
I
We
love
could
I
Great
love
we
Night
Pal.
Court.
I I might come back and do a sitcom one, but because I have a list of the top 100, but that's a whole neither here nor there. We're all old, 20th century, enough old that eventually that channel would go from that movie. Eventually, it's turning to ESPN uh, at some point. So, question five lines up. Who was your favorite 20th century Sports Center anchor duo when that was actually a thing? So, the five choices are The Big Show, which was Dan Patrick and Keith Olbermann. I don't know if they had a name, but Carl Ravitch and Craig Kilborn were that was like I feel like Dan and Keith were the 11 o'clock, and then Carl and Craig Kilborn were the 2 a.m. one because they were the 11 o'clock on the West Coast. So there was those two. Rich Eisen and Stuart Scott is who took over for the Big Show. That would be one, two, three. So the fourth is another duo that I'm not listing, or you can pick five, which is didn't watch and don't care. So those are the choices. Buzz, you got a choice?
Eisen and Scott, fight me.
All right. Dan?
I would go with the Big Show. That's the one that that stuck with me, and I think started a lot of that stuff off. So that's my memory of it. You just have to ignore what Keith Olbermann is today.
Well, it's as they were Sports Center anchors, not taking them in their
Not
current format.
not slightly pervy weirdo Oberman.
He was
No.
I'm sure he was.
for
I'm sure he was that then too. But
Yeah, yeah. Well,
we just know it now.
yeah, that's true. Fair enough.
Matt, who are you taking from that list?
It's a pretty good list. I'll do Kilborn and Ravitch though. I also
Mhm.
like I don't know because Kenny Mayne had rotating people.
I was trying to
He-
remember who I was forgetting in that list, and it's Kenny Mayne.
yeah, but he never. I don't ever remember him having like someone like consistently.
Yeah.
So
Hmm. Ed?
I was broke. We didn't have cable. I didn't watch it. I was gonna say Warner Wolf just because I used to watch CBS.
Channel 9. All
Yeah,
Warner
right.
it's
Wolf
not
was
even.
trash. Warner Wolf was trash. He was in DC too. He was trash.
Warner Wolf is good.
I remember Russ Salzberg. Like I grew up with Russ Salzberg getting into a fight with Mike Tyson on UPN. Like,
The sweater.
uh, so I don't really have like a favorite. I always had a soft spot though for like once I did get older and got cable for Linda Cohen. I always talked. She took way too much shit. In a business that's very male dominated, she always had to know her shit. And people forget she actually played hockey and was a goalkeeper. So she whipped the shit out of most of us in here. So you know what I mean? Like I've always had a
Yeah.
soft spot for Linda Cohen.
Linda
Um,
Linda Cohen was also
Linda
on the
Cohn.
desk with Stuart Scott too, and they were good.
yes.
The
Uh-huh.
Stuart
Yes.
Scott disrespect is getting a little wild. I'm just gonna say that.
Sean, who you got?
Catchphrases, y'all. Catchphrases.
Yeah, I'm riding with Fuzz on the Eisen and Scott.
Mhm. Well, at some point, that was Monday through Saturday, because on Sunday you'd get that whoever, but you got prime time. And like SNL cast members my all do Lauren, I'm certain we all have a Chris Berman impersonation of some kind, whether it's, he could go. Oh, we all did that. So I'm gonna use that way past time to bring this all to a close with a trivia question. We were talking ESPN and grew up and saw the 90s when that took off and took over. And in 1990, the Wall Street Journal said ESPN at that point was the number one channel in cable. It had 54.8 million subscribers. which was better than CNN's 53.8. That's 1990. By 97, ESPN subscriber count swelled to how many homes across the United States? So that's the number I'm looking for. Matt, I'll try you first.
How many homes?
Mm-hmm. It had 54, 54, 8, and 90. How many by 97?
I'm gonna say 110.
All right, 110. Ed,
71.5 million.
71.5. Buzz,
ESPN can suck my male organ.
suck my male organ.
Yes.
Rashawn, it's an acceptable answer. It's a completely acceptable answer.
No, they really can. They
Wow.
really can.
Hence
That's
why
disrespect. That's disrespect for the liver. Sorry.
Why do you always make me go back? So, I'm gonna go 130.
Dan,
I'm gonna bid $1. That's it. I think
$1.
everyone went over. I'm gonna bid $1.
Price
One
is
dollar
right.
bid. We do play prices right rules. So thank you all for listening to Gate, however you have, whether that's via Spotify, Apple, or Pandora. You can watch this and every Terminal Podcast episode at youtube.com/at Terminal Pod. It's the channel for all your questions. The answer to the trivia question from tonight will be in the description. My guests all have flights to catch, and I'll be back soon enough with hopefully something better to put down. Take it easy down your life's highway, gentlemen. Enjoy the big game and have a good evening.